Hey everybody, welcome to the Two Guys Edit podcast.
Welcome.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. Man, I can't believe we've actually gone to 3.
We survived 3 already. It'll be 30 in no time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Nick.
I'm George.
How's it going, George?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You look
Busy,
a little
busy.
haggard.
So tired. When project deadlines hit you,
Yeah.
they hit you hard.
Yeah, you were up till midnight.
I was up until midnight because literally I had to finish up 2 projects by midnight. I had not looked at them for days because I was doing other stuff, you know. I had everything prepped, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, I had to put everything together and then chop it all up and recheck the guidelines that I put for myself because I had other guidelines that I was like I was following another project. It was so chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it was nonstop like craziness. Yeah.
Of course.
But did you see this morning? I saw on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
Oh man, you sound like you're 60 explaining something. On the
pretty much.
YouTubes.
I saw on the YouTubes. Somebody hacked the DJI Spark to have the Mavic and Phantom 4 Pro layout. Everything, all the settings.
No, I hadn't seen this. Wow.
Yeah, some like guy
That's a game
in
changer.
Middle
You're
America.
loving it.
I love my Spark. I get it back on Friday, I think. So it's a hack, and it has all the extra settings, like, you know, going over. It can see in front and go over mountains and stuff by itself. It has all those different things. It has like 6 new features that this hack that somebody gave, and he went through the testing of it, and I was like, what? Wow. And battery life is a little bit better, and all those types of things. It was very astounding. So I was like, what? That's a game changer.
Yeah.
But then it also probably voids the warranty.
Oh,
so I'm like,
100% avoids the warranty.
You're
not going to do it?
No way. I just literally got it back from being broken and got it repaired for free under warranty.
Yeah, but like, don't you want to be pushing it to the next level?
No, I don't, because I have so much. There's so much to do with that thing already. Like, because of how tiny it is, it's amazing. Like, you can do a lot of crazy stuff with it, and I have a very good, two good
all
videos
the
in
extra features.
I know features are always great, but
I know.
But I suspect that if they don't make another version, they're gonna give, like Panasonic's done with some of their stuff, like the GH5 and GH4, give a payable update to get more features, which I would pay if it was $100.
Yeah, you would. I can see.
If it was $100, I would pay for it. I'm like, yep.
But would they do that because like the point of the Spark was actually to be consumer grade?
Totally.
And they've told everyone that very flat out. This is not for professionals.
Totally.
It's like just consumer.
Absolutely, but it would be very fun, and also I think it'd be good for their branding.
Would it?
To
because
to have a product that does both. Literally, you can choose one or the other.
But this is the thing. Like, wouldn't that be kind of dipping into their sales of the Mavic?
Yeah.
Because the Mavic is in that space.
Mm-hmm. But
That's
Mavic's also like the Mavic is also like way more powerful, way more reliable.
Yep.
The update doesn't upgrade the battery. You know, the battery is always going to be 14 minutes, 13 minutes, not 24, 27 minutes. You know, what you're paying, I think, with the Mavic is a professional grade plus 4K. You get 4K, you get more resolution, you get 24p. This doesn't have 24p. If it was just an update that just gave features and not frame rate and not exposure more exposure compensation, I say not do a full-on update to give all the features. Give some, because I think some
just
of those
to
features
tease people in.
No, not to tease people in, but just to bring people in so that they can feel that they can do more with it a little bit than what the 2 sticks that they had, which was like the panel focus thingy, the shallow focus, I mean, and also the Jedi thing, which was a total fail.
Yeah, you hate the Jedi.
Yeah,
thing.
Jedi thing doesn't work, and like now with the new update they just did. You can now record video with that gesture. So I don't even know what the gesture is. Like, they didn't even make a video saying what gesture is it. Is it the same gesture? Because
you'd think that they would have made the video because especially using the Spark, it's right there in front of them.
Exactly. They made updates. When they released that update, they actually made 7 videos on their DJI website or DJI YouTube page that had nothing to do with the update at all.
Really?
I was like, what? The same day, and you released these that have nothing to do with what...
It was just some marketing intern kind of had a lousy day and kind of made a mistake. That was it.
Pretty much. Something like that. It's just crazy. So, yeah, I get it back. But I have 2 cool ideas. Like, because of how small it is, I would love to do like a thing called... It's an idea based on tight spaces, Montreal. So I want to find all like the tightest spaces around the city, like the tiniest alleyways, things like that.
How tiny are you talking
Oh, I'm
about?
talking the width of the actual drone.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and then I'll put the.
So that's a brave
But I want to put
piloting.
I'm going to put the protector guards on them.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I have some leeway of like doing stuff and like going through construction equipment and all those types of things.
Yeah.
And do
That
something
kind of
like
stuff
'cause
is
I haven't
scary.
seen it.
I've
it is
gone
scary.
under bridges and all that
Yeah.
stuff, but every single time I'm like, well, I might not see this ever
Yeah,
again.
exactly. Or like a tunnel. Like I'm thinking about doing a tunnel, but a tunnel is very risky
That,
because
yeah.
it has to be very well lit in order to be switched to ADI mode or switch out of ADI mode to something else. Because the thing with the Spark is that it automatically switches through the different modes. As far as I know,
Yeah.
maybe with the iPhone and stuff you can switch it, but with the Android phone, it's like it automatically switches on the fly, and that's very dangerous because once it goes in ADI mode, it just goes loco. It goes crazy. It doesn't
Yeah.
move around. It moves around even with the slightest of wind. So you have to have the space super well lit so that the computer can realize, oh, I'm in a tunnel. Go straight. Don't fall into anything.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then I'm going to try to make a video about creative ways of using that drone because you can use it for so many cool things if you're an action person or if you're doing filming for short little films like dolly shots. Like you can have the drone follow just your face while you're walking. It's amazing, just your face. Like you can just zoom on your face and or on a bike or going or you can literally drive and you can literally go running in front of it or cycling in front of it and it'll go backwards for you. All those types of things that a lot of those people don't know. A lot of people
It's
get those
capable of,
drones
yeah.
capable of, and I think some creative ways of using it would be cool, especially that little drone. Because I've seen people around town that have the Mavic and putting it out and taking it out. It's very intimidating for people who walk by those people that do it. Because I saw several people that when they walk by a person who went in the Mavic or even the P4 and those types of things, they would stop and be like kind of talking, kind of.
Oh yeah, I get stopped all the time when I bring out the
and
Mavic.
not in a good way. Like sometimes.
Oh really? I've always just like everyone is really friendly.
Yeah,
they're like
most of the time it's friendly.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a little confrontation, like like they say out loud, like they don't want to be recorded.
Yeah,
They
which
just
is
don't
fair.
wanna- Oh, totally. No doubt.
Yeah.
But with the thing like with the Spark, I have never had a problem yet. Thank goodness, except for the thing falling and like, thank goodness no one was around because
That
for
would
sure
have
would have had
been
somebody
bad.
complain, or would have for sure
yeah.
had somebody. It was a horrible accident, and like DJI like completely. It was a complete fault on their behalf. Like it was them.
Yeah, do you want to explain to everyone that doesn't know the story yet?
Yeah,
Because you told me
so it
in
just
depth.
fell flat. Like I was just recording through on a regular day. I think it was on the 11th or something like that, and I was just recording up and down, going around near the canal, and then suddenly I turn around away from the road, and then I go towards the river, and then just drop. Like I was just going forward. I wasn't crossing the. I wasn't crossing the pads. Like I wasn't crossing crossing the streams. You know, I wasn't crossing the streams, and so that turns off out of nowhere. Nothing like that, and just fell dead on the cement. Yeah, and just exploded.
What was the sound when it hit the
Oh, it
cement?
just went like doosh. Like
You knew it was
solid,
dead.
Oh, it was gone.
Yeah.
It was gone forever. I was like, but the worst part was the silence in between the fall and the actual hit. It was just like a bird.
Yeah. How high up were you?
19 or 20 meters. Like
Okay.
it was pretty high. Like,
Yeah, it's a decent.
for a piece of plastic falling on cement, you know, I was surprised it survived what it did. Like it broke the top. It broke the entire front left propeller. Like the whole, not the propeller, but the whole hinge. Like the arm completely cracked open. The top thing cracked right open.
Yeah.
I saw all the innards and everything, and then like the sensor in front, the shield broke off, and then the battery, all the little metal tabs under the battery got off, and then even the connectors were completely destroyed, like just unhinged. It was awful. Like imagine people who drop when it drops over 30 meters or 90 meters, or you know, it's just vaporized. Like
Yeah.
so
It like starts to get it's like a nice little flame trail
yeah,
behind
pretty
it.
much. Yeah.
There's a comet.
Oh, I'm just surprised that the battery didn't go on fire. Like I was very impressed with how it survived.
That's good. It's not.
It's still there.
the
on my
Galaxy.
lens. Yeah, it's not the Galaxy. Yeah, exactly. It's still on my. It's still on my coffee. It's still on my ledge. Marked bad. It's not. I have to go recycle it eventually because they don't accept them.
Yeah.
But DJI, their warranty thing, all their services. If you're in North America, it's pretty amazing. No plug whatsoever. But
No, like, I'll
seriously,
give it.
it was
It's-
super
yeah.
smooth. They
I'm not surprised
read the
because like
label.
they're a really good company on
Yeah,
that
they're
front.
the premier, right? They're the
Yeah,
first.
they know what they're doing. They like they take care of the products they make. Like, you can see that in the build quality.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It took 3 weeks. So again, Friday I returned. I got it. I sent it out, I think, on 2 Fridays ago or 3
Yeah.
Fridays ago, and came back, and then I didn't even have to use my DJI Care. So they won me over. They won me over with their product, although it fell dead. But like I said, I consider it an early investor almost, because I got on the first day, pre-ordered on the 24th of May, all those things. So
Yeah, it's always nice when you have that experience of just incredible service, and you then say, I will never go anywhere else for my business.
No.
Like you have won me over.
Yeah, totally. They're really the brand to follow, especially in the future when they make new stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So that's my whole
That
drone
is your-
experience.
yeah.
I've had a P4 and like P3 a long time ago. No problems like that falling out of the sky, and like other people have had those problems too lately with the Spark Zones. So. But what a creative tool.
Probably there's just some bug that like a crossed wire somewhere in the system.
Always something like that.
Yeah.
But one thing I would like to have is there's somebody's 3D modeling a clear plastic cover for the top, so you can see the innards when you like it's like
interesting.
a little mod instead of the blue, like, or whatever color you pick. And I might get that and like replace it, because it's like it's cool to see the innards. It's kind of a more futuristic, cosmetic. You know, some people put decals on their things. I think that's
You want a little like steampunk-esque.
I want steampunk-esque. You know, I want it to look like something that somebody just put together and just threw together to make. You know. Because I want to build I like building things, but I haven't built an actual drone yet, like a drone flyer and all those things.
What have you built?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Built motherboards from scratch, complete motherboards from scratch.
Really?
When I was younger.
Yeah.
Built a lot of like rigs, like a lot of different things. Oh, I don't know. I built little computers, little things like that, and like motorized dollies. I built my own motorized dollies and stuff like that a long time ago. Oh, light setups when I couldn't afford lights. Now I can, thank goodness, for a while I've been able to.
Yeah.
But like,
No, because like that, I love the hack, like build your own light kits. Because like you can get LEDs, you just put them in plastic usually.
Yeah, in a plastic container usually, or you can get the ones that are completely encased in like a polycarbonate or something like that are pretty cool. They're all pretty much weatherproof, but they're a lot more expensive.
Yeah. But again, it's investing in something that's gonna last a long time.
Yeah, it's gonna last a long time if you use quality components. It usually lasts quite a long time. I know there's a guy on YouTube that does. He's only has like several videos, and he made like the 100-watt LED light that goes like points out. He put it in the woods and stuff like that, and like lit up the whole entire. And like he made even a little cube that did the same thing, but like had I think four fans on the actual like the heat dispenser, and like it was like constantly burning up. Like it was just generating so much power. So yeah, it's cool doing. Have you ever built any kits like that?
No, I haven't yet. It's one of those things like I usually do stick with like actual gear.
Yeah, actual gear.
It just because it makes my life easy. But like there is always a hack way. Like if something really needs to be done, you find a way. But I can't think of anything right off the top of my head right now.
I find it less nowadays than ever. Like 10 years ago, a lot of things were hackable. Like people were making hacks. People were making stuff more, a little bit more. I'm still not saying they're not making anything now, but people are making a lot now. But now, what used to be like industrial standard products were super expensive 10 years ago. Now, equivalents are dirt cheap. Not like affordable.
And it's also the fact that I think a lot of people have gotten into video. Yeah. So there's a lot of knowledge now of the things that you actually need to use.
Totally.
So like you always need a spare clips, or actually using gaff tape and stuff like that. It's just like people didn't know before, and they're just like making up solutions as they go along.
Now gaff tape is fucking expensive. Gaff tape
gaff tape
used to be the cheapest thing in the world.
Really?
I had boxes of them, and then I eventually ran out. I'm like, I'll buy a new box of gaffing tape.
And then
I'm like, it's 4 times more expensive. I'm like, what? I'll buy a quarter of a box. I can't give you a quarter of boxes. Okay. I'll buy the whole.
I wonder what made the market go up.
People,
the demand.
Demand is massive. Videos.
Yeah, but at the same time, it can't be more expensive to make now.
No, it's not more expensive to make.
Yeah, they're just making.
It's just capitalism at its finest. Like there's a demand, so they're like, let's hike the price. No one else is gonna buy it. Nowhere else. They can't buy it anywhere else except from here. So they're gonna go there. That's what it's like for a lot of those things. Except for, like I said, for lights, it's cheaper than ever.
Yeah.
For data, like cards and hard drives, super cheap.
Well, that's just the law of.
Yeah, that's the law of how it goes exactly. And like cameras are getting cheaper. Yeah. I would say the most expensive stuff now are literally like those types of things, like gaffer's tape, and also like what do you call that? Things that block out the sun, like big industrial grade, like industrial grade C clamps, and all.
Well, that's
those
also
types of
because you're
things.
getting to the actual
You're
professional
getting,
level.
You're getting to like, I want my image to look exactly like I want it to.
How does that actually feel? Because like you've been doing this a while, and I'm sure that you've seen your kit develop more over time.
Yeah.
And you've just kept on adding more professional things. How does it feel? Like, do you think like you've gotten to a point where you're happy right now, or do you keep on seeing yourself wanting to add more professional gear?
It's a fine line between like. Now I've gone to the fine line between like renting and owning.
Yeah.
Like the thing I want to buy the most, and we said that in the previous episode, is a big RE lighting kit that I really want to own that because it costs too much to rent and there's insurance involved, and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. My life is already painful enough.
Yeah. How was your renting experiences?
Okay.
Because like, I haven't rented anything.
Solotech has a lot of stuff. Mel's, you can get it from Mel's. Mel's, their inventory isn't very full all the time because it's always being in use, and it's super expensive at Mel's, and you have to be part of their guild and stuff. So I don't go to them anymore. The guild, I guess, how you would pronounce it, I guess. And then, but Solotech has most of the stuff you need. Here, it's like there you go there. Really, that's the place I go if I ever need stuff for like blocking out sun or doing stuff like that, like major and like renting C clamps and stuff for big concerts I have to record and stuff like that. Not big concerts, but for normal concerts. And my experience is like just budget yourself. That's like I've never had problems. And I would always encourage like get to know those people. Go there and get to know them and know that what they have in what's in inventory always, so that you always work around your projects and be like, okay, they always have this. I don't want to. Chance that they don't have it, then I'm screwed. I have to go somewhere else. Just wait. You can lose a lot of time. That would be my only thing. You can lose a lot of time when you have to go and get gear and rent gear, because if you forget something to rent, it's like a pain in the ass to go back and do all those things, and it's like renting a truck, all those types of things. So. Yeah, if that answers your question. But like that's that's the fine line. Like right now, I've come to a point that I have everything I need.
Yeah.
It would be nice to have a much better lighting setup than I already have. I'm already very content with it, but the rest is all pretty good. Like,
see, that's good because I feel like you are an exception sometimes to that rule, because I feel like a lot of people get into, oh my god, I need the next biggest thing.
People go gear crazy
and they forget that like it doesn't matter. Like it matters to a point, but.
Like sensors are too good now. Sensors are too good to make they're so good that your image always looks bad. So that means you have to work on everything else but the camera. The camera you can make any camera look good if you point enough good light at it the right way. Yeah. So people need to stop spending so much time wanting the newest thing and investing in experimenting way more on scenes that they make, even if they make fake scenes, normal like test scenes and stuff like that. Do that a lot. Like that should be 90% of all your work. Like just testing stuff, seeing what works, see what type of light hits well with certain lenses, all those types of things.
It's also like understanding your style.
Figuring out your style, because that takes forever.
Yeah, because it's also like no one is a master of all styles.
No.
And like you need to learn what you're good at and like what you want. Yeah.
This is the face of struggle. Of constantly struggling to find something, and then you're like, oh, I have something good, and then you realize it's no good. Yeah. Once you start realizing that, I think you're really on a good path. Yeah. In any type of creative field, when you're like, oh, I'm doing something good, then you realize it's crap, and then you're like, that's pretty much, and then you fix it, and then you fix it, or you make something, or you make it better, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't. Yeah. Getting stuck more and more, getting stuck with that whole feeling of always wanting more. Right. I want the next Blackmagic camera. I want the next, editing suite. I want the next laptop that can do it all. Like
it just becomes a pissing contest where you want the bigger stick on the yard.
Right? And yeah, you see the guy walking by you, and they have a freaking 360 camera, and you're like, oh man. You go and search 360 camera, and you're like, oh,
that would be fair.
Into cart, and then out.
There is a big difference, I think, between 360 and
of course, 360.
Flat.
We were talking about that before. Yeah. 360 is a different, not even.
It's a different beast.
Oh yeah, it's like
it's a different ball game.
Yeah, it's a different dimension. It's literally a different universe and different
Well,
dimension.
just like the storytelling needs to be completely different
Yeah.
because you can't really do edits.
Yeah.
The camera is a person. Like you are literally putting them into the scene
Yeah.
themselves, so there has to be a reason for them to be there.
I was thinking about that
Yeah.
yesterday or this morning. It was like 360 is really like almost like to me it seems like it's like theater. It's like when you go to the theater
Yep.
and you're immersed. It's like just one-sided, but there's some theaters like let's say Cirque du Soleil. That's 360. You know, like everybody's around.
Yeah.
There's storytelling. They're doing stuff like that. I would say that would be the closest type of thing that people need to sort of imitate because
To start. Yeah, I
because
know.
it's like the whole immersive experience.
It is. It's honestly one of the best experiences I've ever seen in 360 was a Cirque du Soleil experience.
There you go.
So they were
Wow.
messing around with it entirely.
Yeah,
Like I saw
totally.
3 different one was underwater,
Nice.
and so like you would be pulled into different stories.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, it was a good use of it, but
But
yeah,
that's like just the beginning, you know. There's
It
so
is.
much more. Like
it is the true Wild
yeah.
West.
Yeah, too. Yeah, so true. And like where audio was in the 50s and 50s and 60s with 360 audio and stuff like that with a lot of classical music composers.
Yeah.
And in fact, Panasonic in the 50s at Expo 67, I think.
Yep.
Or whichever year it was. They had a New York composer named Edgar Varese who had an installation in the Panasonic Pavilion. What you would think Panasonic in the 60s? Yeah, Panasonic was around. They were doing sound like anyone else. And they partnered, I think, with RCA. And RCA was big here in Montreal at one point. And they did a 360 speaker installation of all of his works. And his works were meant for those types of things.
Yeah.
He composed them specifically to be able to work in that space. So it would be this gigantic space full of speakers, not in particular spots, everything. And people would be in the center and it would play through. And it was like this immersive 360 experience, you know, which was unheard of anywhere else back
Yeah.
then. So through that, you know, audio technology has gone so far with, you know, 5.1 surround and all those types of things and IMAX surround, all those types of things. That's, I would think, if you're looking at 360 cameras, you should look back at how they were doing it just with audio in itself. That could sort of paint a picture of what you should start doing around with
How to think about it.
video with
Yeah.
it, because audio is just as important with. Imagine you have a 360 video camera, but then you got to think about the whole audio experience.
Oh yeah, no,
which
it's
is
like mapping audio. There is specific
mapping
software
Oh,
to
yeah.
do it for 360, and it's a pain in the
Sure,
butt.
you gotta learn it, you know.
Yeah.
It's the Wild West. It's so early.
It is, but like what I'm excited about is because I feel like it's the same time as when like video cameras started to be a thing.
Yeah.
But we've condensed the learning curve so much because like there's all this other tech already supporting it. So, oh sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. That's the thing with live.
Yeah. Well, if it was loud, that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, that would be funny.
But it's going to be interesting to see when people actually start to really get weird with it and experiment. Because I feel like everyone's been very tame. It's been very much, oh, like, let's just capture this real life thing. Let's document real life. Because no one's figured out fiction yet.
Very rare. Very rare. Ultra rare.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I've only seen 1 or 2 things that were like super short, about 1 or 2 minutes long, and it was like a murder, you know, like it was something in a house, and
But
it
I'm
was
also,
very exciting.
I think I'm also hesitant to, like, I think 360 is going to be a bit of a fad. I think it's going to be part of the story of like VR content, but I think eventually it will get mapped out into using game engines and then the mapping actors so they actually do act, but then you can actually move around the space as well.
Yeah, moving
So,
around space, yeah, that's interesting. It's just like the
I'm honestly
Thinking
thinking
of the
Harry
set of
Potter
it, yeah.
and having like diving back into the memories and the pensieve.
Right. Oh yeah, there you go.
It's going to be that.
There's gonna be that pretty much.
I hope that'd be. I think the
Yeah.
coolest thing. You just like step into
Yeah,
like a
cool.
designated room that just turns into a set of
A
whatever.
set of whatever it is. Yeah, that'd be pretty
It's
cool.
gonna be a huge disconnect for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, what is real? What isn't?
Yeah, they sort of did that like in Star Trek and in X-Men with the War Room or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's just a whole matter of like conceptualizing the engineering feats,
The challenges.
the challenges. It might, to be honest, those types of things, I think we're still off by hundreds of years.
I don't think we're off by hundreds.
Oh, to make it commercialized and make it possible.
Well, think
like,
about
at
how
speed.
like right now there's a bunch of CGI work that they actually do map an actor to their face and
Oh,
then like
yeah,
they're capturing
totally.
it in 360.
Right.
So I think that technology is getting there to be able to implement it into a real life project where it's more just about finding a way to create the room so someone can visit it. But they could actually map a scene in 360.
But could they map that person who's in that space without wearing dots on their face?
No, but I think this is where I think it's going to be like CGI. But CGI is so good at this point where unless you really know, like sometimes you get tricked. So,
of course. Oh yeah, CGI is it's at that level.
So like I don't think it's like it's gonna be real actors, but they're not gonna be. It's not gonna be actually capturing them. Using film.
Understood. Yeah. So yeah, that's
that's my wild theory at least.
What about you though for the gear thing? Like, what about because you're relatively not new in the field, but I mean like.
Well,
you're building your empire.
I am, well, attempting a little nice corner in the world. This is where I really do believe in like specializing gear, because I think I know a lot of people who get bogged down, like even you wanting to use the drone for everything, and I get that because it is so versatile. But I do think there is a point to using very specialized gear.
Of course.
That's why, like, for example, I'm just bought a new electronic slider.
Yeah, sliders. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's a staple, and so I really do want to focus on getting gear that is going to be able to do niche projects. So like right now, I love my setup for being able to shoot these types of videos where it's just like it's very documentary style. You're not thinking about the cinematic flares and the really like wide color dynamic range. But I do like that's like the next purchase I think is going to be a camera that's more capable to do that. So I can do a bit more cinematic stuff. But then I know myself, I'm getting caught in that. Like, I just want the nicest gear because I want nice gear.
Yeah, that's the thing with like dynamic range and all those terms and all those things. It's like I said, the sensor is still pretty good. Like there is outputs and stuff like that, like 10-bit and all those types of things, like which make a difference in the industry standards. But like when a movie, like when a documentary film or a regular movie can win an Oscar or get nominated for an Oscar, that's a Canon camera.
Oh yeah,
that's not a C100.
Oh no, that's the thing. It's like
that means nothing anymore.
Of course. No, I would never say that equipment is the thing that's most important. Like it doesn't matter what equipment you're using.
I'm talking about cameras. I'm not talking about the equipment.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about sliders and all those things. Those things are necessary.
Yeah.
Because the hands can't do it. You know, a cameraman can't carry it. Like you have to have special equipment with.
Of course, but I think it's like even if you just have a phone on you. The most important thing is the story. Like if your story's good, doesn't matter what you're using.
Yeah, if your concept
it's one of those things. The only why I enjoy specialized gear though is because it just makes your job faster, so you can produce more content and kind of experiment quicker. That's it allows you to take a very startup term. It allows you to fail faster.
Totally.
That is my only obsession with having nice gear because then you get
that's a rare way of thinking about it because most people they just think of the actual owning of the item and that now they're part of this club.
Yeah. Well, because like I know if you show up to set and you just have a DSLR, if someone's paying you good money for that, they're like, wait, this isn't a cinema camera. It's like, well, yes, it is, but they just get tricked by that. I know.
Yeah, that's a funny world. That's the in between world again. Like you're getting paid. If that person's paying you already, they should know already what your style is like and all those things. They shouldn't be questioning your methods. But when they start like that, there are times that stuff like that happens. But it's just this middle ground that I kind of tend to. Yeah. And I didn't want to be like that. Be part of that whole entire thing. And yeah, like I said, being hired for your experience, being hired for your skill, not for what you have, because like you wouldn't hire me if you could do it. You wouldn't have hired me. Yeah. You know, so don't.
But I feel like people forget that a lot, especially now with social media being so prevalent. It's like, of course, like you can take this photo, but have you taken the time to actually learn how to take it properly? The post production, setting it up. It's like
and just the story of it. Like telling, like you can take a picture of a coffee, and in a coffee shop, but like. You have to.
There's artistry and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's methods involved in it. Like, if you want me to do a whole entire shoot of your shop, then that's different. Like, you know, we're gonna have a concept. We're gonna have a meeting together to see what your company's all about. We're not just gonna take a photo of the coffee. We're going to take a photo of the people, the people who are, you know, all those things that they wouldn't have thought of.
It's just like they take it for granted.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's also that we're living in an age right now where content is being mass produced
No,
by everyone on every single front.
Because everyone thinks they can do it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which
'Cause
they cannot.
Well, like, it's one of those things, like, if you don't have the money to invest in it, then, like, yes, it's better just to post something than nothing. But, like, you're going to get the results when you have someone that has that kind of knowledge.
Totally. It's the knowledge that, and that's the one thing I don't want to hate on people like that. It's not my thing, but, like, is right now, and we'll probably get a lot of flack for it.
Okay, well.
Is the whole, well, I will get flack on my end.
Yeah, I'm staying away from this. This is all you.
Yeah. But, like, when people are, what do you call it? Social media managers, or, like, you know, they have that new term now that's been around for a little bit, like social marketing influencers, or, you know, like influencer.
No, okay.
Like,
yeah.
And telling how people to become influencers. I don't like the term influencers at all.
No.
I think it's a big marketing thing.
It's a nice ploy.
It's a ploy word, influencers.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking towards it forever. I know some people, very close people that are in this industry, and I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like any trend. There are people that are just saying that this is what I can do for you just to get a quick buck.
Exactly. It's a quick buck, super quick.
But I do respect people who actually are sitting down with clients and thinking about a strategy that's actually going to impact them. It's just, it sucks that there are so many people that are kind of sleazy.
Oh, there's people that are just piggybacking all of these people.
It's like how
in big buildings for big corporations that they're the social media manager, and they have a very good salary, very good job, and they work hard. Those people are the people that should be called that.
Yeah.
Not these people who piggyback, who come to events that are.
It's just like there's always been people like that because like it feeds off of this.
I've never seen that before like that. To be honest, I've never seen somebody in a field like that to do that.
I don't know. I feel like
I don't know who else.
I feel like that would be like how salesmen were.
Maybe
in the 50s, you know, when they just showed up to your door, be like, "Hey, I have a vacuum cleaner. You want this?" And just
alcohol.
Like, yeah, like stuff like that. It just there's always been people like that, and
like oh, it's rough.
It is.
It's rough around the edges for me, and I was just like, what?
Because I feel like there's also everyone wants to promise shortcuts when you can't do that.
There's no shortcuts. If there were shortcuts, that person wouldn't even be in the business. The person who you're about to hire would be gone. They would have made their money already. Yeah. They've clearly not made their money because they've had several blog posts or Instagram likes or any of those things blow up a little bit or had a little mini viral thing in one of those things that they can just use their influence now. I'm like, no, you can't. Like, you know, I get paid by companies to do stuff for them, but I don't necessarily have a gigantic YouTube channel or any of those types of things. I have commercials and a portfolio.
Yeah.
But like these people have a YouTube channel saying, oh, I have 40,000 subscribers or even 10,000 subscribers or even more than that. But a lot of them are like YouTubers. Some of them are YouTubers. Some of them are Instagram people solely. Some people are Twitter people. And they use this clout to like get people. And I was like, what? That's the
because it's also I
get it at a lot of events. I go to events and at least half the people I meet are those types of people. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's one of those things. I always wonder if people like that if they think about not only the breadth of their followers, but the depth. Yeah. Because that is what is important.
Yeah, totally.
I don't care if you have like 40,000 followers. Do they actually care about you? Are they actually engaged?
Do they pay attention?
Because if they don't, then you're actually not doing your job right.
And plus, I wouldn't have found that appealing because, like, with those people, are they really going to accept multiple different people coming into their world, like products, all these things that this person now using them? Yeah. Will they be responsive to it? I don't think they will. No. I think big brands do it, but not little timers. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's just that's all.
No, I get it.
It's been driving me nuts this past summer because summer it's been running rampant like crazy. Yeah. So and
there's no cure.
Yeah, there's no cure. Yeah, I saw it yesterday at one of the coffee shops and I was just like, what? It was a team of 3 and I'm like, oh my gosh, and like, just not good to me. I thought.
Yeah, it's.
I couldn't do that. Like I do it sort of with when I do a video and like when I do a campaign, but that's not the same. It's like a real campaign, real thing that you're giving a full product to a company and like this is our campaign. Run this. Let's run that. Boom, boom, boom. And then they get there, but they're already a big enough company. What they do, big companies. This is a secret with big companies. Is they have budgets every year and it's almost every quarter that they have to spend.
Well, yeah.
They have to spend, and it has to revolve around the general idea of what they already have as their slogan and all those types of things. And you have to kind of play follow the leader with them.
Yeah.
That's what you're totally
Because they already have their marketing strategy in
They already
place.
have their strategy, exactly.
So you're
don't change
helping
it up.
them
exactly
accomplish the strategy they already have.
Yeah, that's the big secret, guys. If you want to get in that industry, it's really that.
Yeah.
Just do what they tell you. Change a couple things if you think it's good and constructive, and then you get paid. You get paid very well.
Yeah.
And it's creatively, it's not what most creatives would like, but like Picasso did the same thing. All those types of people, whatchamacallit's face, friggin' Warhol, all those people, they've worked with big agencies and
Because
campaigns.
that's the thing.
like-
It's awesome to do the creative stuff.
Yeah.
I know that's what drives me, but at the end of the day, you do need to get paid somehow.
Yep,
And if you can't
totally.
get paid from the original stuff,
Yeah.
gotta do the commercial.
Exactly. So that was my little thing.
Yeah,
about
that was a decent rant.
That was that was a decent rant. 'Cause that drove me wild this summer because here in Montreal, just everyone's out trying to hustle like crazy. Hustle.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things. I love the term hustle, but I also get annoyed with it because
Oh,
you
me
get
too.
used all the time.
I know. It used to be used very rarely about 10
Yeah,
years ago,
it's just
but now
because
like,
it's this whole idea that entrepreneurship is really fun and that's the thing that everyone should be doing. And everyone forgets that it's hard for a reason.
yeah, but that's I actually had a talk with that with my girlfriend a couple days ago, and the thing is though, from what I see, my general exposure to just the Quebec culture is that entrepreneurship is very low here. It's not
It
taught
is.
in schools. It's not taught to take a risk.
Yep.
Everybody, it's not taught to go to the bank, make a proposal, get a loan, all those types of things. That does not exist. It was mostly a West Islander type of thing, Anglophone type of thing.
Yeah.
People were making money off of the backs of the French people, which was horrible. So that's still there. And plus they were run by the church. So there wasn't any vigor to make entrepreneurial businesses, all those types, to have that spirit. So it's still like that right now.
Yep.
And so people think, and because now of television, all things, and it makes it look like, oh, it's a happy-go-lucky thing. All this. It is not. It's a very difficult.
It's hard.
It's a hard
It is.
work. It's a hard work.
Like this is the thing. I think
But
if
it's
you're the
possible,
right,
but it
it's
is
possible.
possible.
It's
It's
it also just
100%
depends
possible.
on who you are as a person.
Totally.
Because I know I would be the worst employee ever. I need to be an entrepreneur. But I also know so many people who they want something safe. They
Yeah,
want to be able to
security.
show up to a job 9 to 5, leave, and not think about anything
Totally,
afterwards.
totally.
And that's not an entrepreneurial life. It's very, or if you're trying to
It's
get
normal
that,
life. It's just a normal,
Yeah.
totally normal and
it's just
admirable
decisions.
life.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
But anybody can do it. Is what I always try to tell people. I'm like, if you have an idea, it is it's easy to get into.
Yeah.
But you have to really
You need to want
devote
to,
to it.
yeah,
and devote to
because
your
it's
idea.
going to be hard.
Yeah, see through it. If
Yeah.
it doesn't work out after a couple of years, that's okay. At least you did it. At least you learned a hell of a lot than you would ever learn in any other school, because real world is a real world. You real with real time statistics, real time people. The customer is always right. All those types of things, So. That's my big thing. And she was completely right. She's like, yeah, I just know. She's like, oh, you're totally right. Like in school here, because she went to school here, she's like, there was no business class. There was no law.
Yeah.
There was none of those things. Still is like that because she's in the education.
Well, I
field.
think it's just because the education system perpetrates the education system.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, well, like I know some people who just went off to university. When a lot of people should have probably gone to college, because that would have actually gotten them a job
Or
instead
technical
of
school or technical
Yeah.
school. Because here it's like big. They're big on technical schools because Quebec is also known notoriously for being a health health sector province.
yeah.
Heavily relied on the health sector. It's their biggest industry.
Yep.
A lot of old people, all those types of things. It's massive. So a lot of people are going in that industry. So we're sort of getting turned into that more and more. So it's very damaging for the economy. So they're trying to put influx. And the only entrepreneurs that I've noticed here are always people.
Anglophones.
Not Anglophones, no.
Really?
Not even Anglophones. It's more people from third world countries. They come here, immigrants. Immigrants coming
Well,
in,
see, that's-
they
yeah.
start a business. Immigrants, they start businesses like crazy.
Because
And
they
that's
have
healthy.
to.
Yeah.
It just like that's the
No
classic
matter how
immigrant
sketchy
story.
it looks or how good it looks, it's still something that helps
Yeah.
that helps the economy. It puts in taxes, and that we have good tax regulations here, so that there's not much corruption anymore. So like money is pouring back in here. So, but
Yeah.
the entrepreneur spirit, in the general sense of people who were raised here and stuff, is super low, super low. It's very, but yeah. Same with me. Like I was able to be a chameleon and be in both. Like, I worked hard, regular labor jobs, and also run my own businesses. So
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah. that's really it for that. But yeah, what else was? I remember we were talking about. I can't remember. Oh well. But that's it. I think we'll call it a podcast for today.
I think that's the podcast right there.
That is the podcast. So, yeah. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below.
Yeah, if we've said a lot of potential controversial things.
Yeah, I would like to hear everybody's thoughts about the stuff we talked about today.
Social media influencers.
Yeah, we would love to talk to you because why not? It would be cool to seriously, because I want to know more about what they do, because clearly to me it's a mirage to me. So
maybe we're completely wrong and they're doing the most valuable job.
I'm probably am wrong.
Yeah,
but
because it is a multi-billion-dollar industry now.
Yeah, but yeah, totally. And I think they need to get together and tell us. There's people here. We know you. And be sure to leave any questions or comments, and subscribe if you haven't, or also subscribe to our iTunes feed. Subscribe to us on iTunes if you haven't. Do they say subscribe on iTunes, or do you say like just? Yeah,
no, it is subscribe. Yeah, you hit a subscribe button.
You hit a subscribe button. Really? Holy crap.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Man, I haven't been on iTunes in a long time.
Yeah.
I need to buy. Yeah, that's crazy.
You should really get onto it. iTunes Store is pretty good on the podcast.
Yeah, I know it is. I know it is. Just like it's been a while. So I'm Nick.
I'm George.
And we'll talk to you guys later. See
you then.
Bye.